Hey guys, Scott here. Welcome to Koala Teatime, and this is my little music podcast where I talk about what's going on with me and music, and then other little things that interest me. I just realised it's Koala Teatime, yet I have a bottle of Hooper's alcoholic dandelion and burdock. I love dandelion and burdock in general. I live off the stuff, and when I discovered this stuff a little while back, I was like, oh, there's an alcoholic version. And I had some cool news the other day, which we'll get into in a bit. So I felt like celebrating with you guys. So, cheers. Oh, that's good stuff. Anyway. Cool beans. So, mate, so it's been a pretty full week here at HQ. Been doing lots of stuff around the studio, and slowly but surely I'm putting Mass Loaded Vinyl up on the walls. So, a couple of weeks back, I made the decision I was going to order Mass Loaded Vinyl to put up in the studio to help the soundproofing. A Mass Loaded Vinyl is basically a lead replacement for recording studios, and it was fairly expensive getting it, and it was like the last big chunk of our money left, so I had to be sure this was it. So I was fretting for about a month or so what to do in terms of further soundproofing, because I was having so many different people tell me different things, and I knew that, I need something else to go in here, because, you know, we're still getting rumbles of airplanes overhead, you know, I can still hear some traffic outside, I could hear birds chirping, stuff like that, so we need a better soundproofing solution. So going for the Mass Loaded Vinyl, I think was good. Was a good move. I'm not sure totally if it's working yet. I don't know whether the whole place needs to be surrounded in it. I think I've done about 1/6 of the amount that is going to be done. 1/6, that's about 2 out of the 12 rolls. So there's a fair amount still left to go. I'm going to do like a proper little like studio tour thing on Saturday and show you guys what's been done so far and talk a little bit more about the putting it up. But yeah, man, it's been fun. It's been fun getting my hands dirty finally, you know, and not just, you know, bringing people in to do stuff for us, but actually doing it myself. It's been quite nice. And at first I was kind of a bit scared about it, because I was like, I don't know, like, I didn't do too well at like resistant materials, you know, DT at school, but I've really enjoyed it, and I'm going to do more after I finish this video, actually, because, you know, I realise it's all down to me, so the quicker I get this done, the quicker I can get on to, you know, doing more fun things, like, you know, recording music. So anyway, yeah, I'm just going to got a thing over here. This is just pulling this off for a wire. This is what I've been using to like make straight lines. I don't have like one of those big proper like measuring stick things, so I just use spare materials I find lying around the garden. Anywho, so yeah, studio stuff's been good, but so yeah, the reason that I'm having a midday beverage to celebrate is that I'm getting an award, which is like pretty like nuts, right? So I'm getting an award, and the awards for my work. So I've mentioned it a few times that I teach music in a prison, and I've been doing so for like, you know, around 4, nearly 5 years. And I've been doing that alongside doing my own music stuff. And it's been good. It's been a good job to support me, because it pays well. Plus, it gives me a good amount of time to do stuff like this and stuff like this, you know. And so, yeah, I've been doing it, you know, for the last however so many years. And yeah, like it's a job where you feel like you're making an impact in some small way, because you're taking people out of their cells for a few hours and teaching them guitar or drums or bass or something, you know, or just jamming some songs through the songbook, and they feel like they're not in prison for a couple of hours, and they're, you know, it's good for their mental health, because, you know, you get out of the dark thoughts you get into, and hopefully hopefully playing music will have other health benefits. It's great at reducing stress. It's great at playing drums especially is good at blood circulation and everything, and it's good for your mental health. So hopefully it has a lasting impact. And someone decided to nominate me for something called the High Sheriff's Award. So in Hampshire, the High Sheriff came to see one of my classes, but this is going back years and years ago. This might be 2 or 3 years ago. They observed it, and at the end they were pretty nonchalant. They were kind of just like, yeah, that was good, and then went away. And then we got nominated for this thing, and it just kind of came out of nowhere, really. And I don't even know what it entails. All I know is that I've won, and I go along in a couple of weeks in mid-March to some fancy do, and there's going to be free booze and food, and I get some sort of award. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know whether it's like a physical thing or not, but yeah, no, it's all rather exciting, and it's nice to feel appreciated, especially in a job where, working in a prison, it's a very cold, dark place, both figuratively and literally, and so sometimes it's a very thankless job. So it's really cool that I got that, and yeah, not that I aspire to be a music teacher as my full-time thing. I aspire to be a full-time songwriter one day, rather than a part-time one. But it's encouraging. It's encouraging because all the things I learned as a gigging musician, as a songwriter, I took into the job, and doing the job has made me a better songwriter and a better performer, I feel, because I feel like meeting different people with different experiences in life, I think, broadens your scope of just people, and of life. And I put up a new song this week called Take Me Away From Here, which is a song I started jamming with a guy who was in there last year, who was a drummer, and I just picked up the guitar, just jamming around some chords, and then the words just came to me, and we jammed that song, and I almost forgot about it until I started finishing songs off a couple of weeks ago, doing that weekly, and I started working on it again, and it's a song very much about prison and feeling trapped and feeling like you're in a dark place, and I can often relate to that, myself personally. But yeah, man, so definitely my experiences there have impacted my songwriting. The only song I've ever had played on the BBC was a song that came out of a jam session there. I've got a song called Let's Go. There's a music video for it on the channel, please check it out. And it's a song I came up with back in 2016, and it was kind of around the beginning of the job, and the guys wanted to learn how to write a punk song. Anyway, they wanted to learn how to play a punk song, so I was like, I just came up with a quick chord sequence that sounded like something the Ramones might come up with, and basically, we just kept jamming it, and there was no lyrics to it really, but I wanted to change the parts in the song, and so to give them a direction for when to go into the next section, I'd go O-R-A-A-R-O-O-R-A, let's go, and that would tell them to change chords. And I remember walking out that day and that song being stuck in the back of my mind and not being able to flush it out. And so I went home and wrote the rest of the lyrics to it and went out and performed it pretty much that same evening for the first time. And people were singing along, and I was like, wow, this is a song that just came to life in one day. And it's been a special song since. It's been a song that, obviously I'm a big fan of the video that we made. I was really pleased with that. Got on the radio with it. I was really happy about that, and yeah. So again, my experiences there have sort of, I've been able to give a lot of myself, but also the experience there has influenced me as a songwriter. and there's a whole bunch of other songs around that stuff. So yeah. Anyway, short of it is, I'm getting an award for doing the stuff there, which is cool. Which is cool, man. I got an award back in 2007 for outstanding musical contribution to the community. It was like an award that at school when we graduated, one student got each year, and I got that, which was cool. Because I hated school. I really hated school. I mean, like, my last 2 years were okay because, like, I had a more solid group of friends, and, like, I was getting better at music, and so, but I hated school, and so to get that at the end of it, was really, I appreciated that. I was a terrible student. I was thinking about it earlier when I was thinking about this award coming up and that award, and thinking, the amount of my unused songbooks that are probably getting dusty in a desk somewhere at my old secondary school is ridiculous, because I just didn't care about other subjects. I just was obsessed with songwriting, from a very young age, and I just kept going with it and kept going with it and going with it, and it was to the point where I was kept having, notebooks confiscated because I wasn't doing the work. I was just writing song lyrics. And, my mum kept getting dragged into school. They kept complaining, saying, he just keeps writing song lyrics, he doesn't do the work. And she's just like, so? Anyway, my mum's awesome. So yeah, man. Music's crazy. I wouldn't expect to have awards for these kind of things, but it's kind of cool. So, yeah, man. If you've got any awards for anything you've done before, leave it down in the comments below, because I want to know, because it's cool. It feels like validation of sorts, and it feels like a moment to celebrate and look at where you are in life and what you're doing and go, I think I'm doing a good thing, and yeah, man, it's crazy. It's really crazy. Cool, man. I want to give a quick shout out to someone who sent me a really nice fan message. I guess you'd say a fan message via Bandcamp. If you don't know what Bandcamp is, essentially it's Spotify but better. It's a music streaming platform where you just upload your music directly. There's no cost, and people can listen to your music there. And then, if you like what you hear, you can buy the music straight from there, and pay whatever you like for it. It's a really cool system. It's way more supportive than Spotify is. So this is where I upload my music now. And I had no idea you could do this, but someone sent me a message there earlier this week, and I didn't know how to reply to the message. It's not like YouTube where there's like a comment section where you can reply to people, but so I just want to give you a shout out. So to Matthew, who sent me the message via Bandcamp, thank you very much. In fact, Matthew said he found me on YouTube, and then that led him to Bandcamp, and him and his friend have been listening to the songs and enjoying it, and that's so cool. That's cool. I remember I got out of work, I think around lunchtime on Monday, and I drove to Tesco, and I got my meal deal, and I sat down in the car, and sort of Monday blues, so you're just a bit like, and I looked at the phone, and there it was, and that was just a really lovely message. So thank you, Matthew, and to be honest, thank you to everyone who comments on these videos and enjoying it and taking part in this. It's really cool. I'm still having a great time doing YouTube. I've been doing it every week now for the last 14 months, and it's great. And there's lots of things I'm really excited about happening with the channel and happening with music this year. I hope you've been enjoying watching the studio get built, because it's been very exciting for me. It's been a very emotional journey. There's been bits where I've got really frustrated, like the whole soundproofing thing, like not knowing exactly what to do and having lots of people tell me different things really just got to me, and I got a bit tearful one night trying to figure it out, because I was like, it's a lot of money to be spending on the wrong thing, and finally I just made a decision. I made a decision, and then after I made the decision, I had to make another decision. It's just this constant roly-poly of just, I know. Man, it's been interesting. It's been interesting, but I've enjoyed doing that, and I'm looking forward to getting to the point where we're doing studio videos where we'll be filming other people recording in here and chilling out in here and enjoying this space. And I'm looking forward to finally getting to use this. So I did a video back in, I think, November when I got this camera. And I got this camera so I could improve my YouTube videos and have videos that didn't just go all the time with the perspective, which honestly I know people comment about the perspective keep going in and out, and yet it's literally about to do it again as immediately as I say it, but I haven't been able to find any way to stop it, and so I got this to make the videos look better. And when I first got the camera, it didn't come with a lens, and this sounds stupid, I didn't realise you can't use a camera without a lens. I thought, it'll be fine without the lens. No. So I had to order a lens, and so I got a lens, but then I didn't have a lens adapter, so I had to order an adapter, and it was during the busy Christmas period, and the people sent me the wrong adapter, and so I had to go elsewhere and order another one, which took a while to arrive. Then finally, the adapter arrived the day after my laptop breaks. Right, I was like, oh, great, okay, so now I've got a functioning camera, but I've got nothing to edit it on, so this has just been sat in a box saying, use me, but I've not been able to use the camera, so that's changing soon, because Wednesday next week, my friend Tom, is coming round and is going to help me build this computer. So I might do a little video for that. We'll see what happens. But I can't wait to have Cubase back and to be able to record and mix music again. I've really missed doing that. I spent a huge chunk of last year recording and mixing and editing my third album, and it was a huge learning experience. And it's been good having some time away from doing it. I've had nearly 5 months away from doing it, but I'm ready to get back to it and start doing album number 4. I got this song 2 Cats, which people keep asking me to record, and I'm really excited, because once everything's set up in here, album 4 is a go. And my plan is for the studio, because I've still got a lot to learn when it comes to editing and recording and everything in between. Before I open doors here and try to make this a business, the plan is to record 100 songs in this room, 100 songs, and we'll see how that goes. It's going to be nuts. I want to do 100 songs, and I want to be able to do that in the rest of this year, so that next year opens up and boom, let's open up doors, let's go, let's start getting people in. That's the plan, because I think if you do 100 songs, that's going to be even more hours of work. It's going to be more than 100 hours of work. You got to write the songs, you got to record them, you got to do all the little things. Hopefully by then I'll have more confidence with it, I'll have more experience with it. I'll know how to counter certain problems when they come up. That's the plan, and yeah, I think that'll work. For me, I always go to extremes. I'm always like, oh, let's try and write a song a day for a year. And you get halfway through the year and you're like, yeah, I'm ill, I can't do this anymore. But, yeah, I think it's gonna work, man. I think it's gonna work. The MLV looks awesome. I'm looking around. I want to show you it. But I'm gonna wait to Saturday's video. I don't want to blow the boat. Yeah, is that a saying? Don't blow the boat. I don't know, man. But anyway, yeah, we might call it there. I might just sit here sip my D&B and marvel at how things are looking. / I might do some more work. I probably should do some more work. You know, I'm here. I should get up and be physical. But I'm also tired. In the middle of the night, one of the house phones, just started making this really annoying bleeping sounds. And I didn't know where it was coming from, so I'm going around in the dark like a zombie, trying to find this bleeping sound, just like, where's the noise coming from? And finally I found it was a phone, but I found out that it was my family had put it outside in the cold, and so getting to it meant going outside in the cold at 3 a.m. when it was wet and cold and dark, and my eyes were closed, and I was like, no. And so I tried to make myself fall asleep for several hours of this popping up every minute or so, and it was just hell. But eventually I think it died, or I fell asleep. Either way, that's what happened. So yeah, man, how's your week going? I hope you're having a good week. And yeah, that's the end of the podcast. It's been pretty chill. Hope you're enjoying the podcasts. I'm enjoying making them. I'm looking forward to having the computer set up again, where I can live stream these straight onto YouTube, where I can have a proper microphone again. It's been weird not having it, but there you go. These things happen. So, yeah. Take it easy. Stay awesome. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That's the thing you're supposed to ask, right? It really helps me out. Let's get to 1,000 subs this year. Oh, yeah. Cool. So, peace. See you soon.